Hey, it is good to be here. It's been a bit since we've been able to come online. We've just been on a little bit of a vacation, enjoying the holiday season. I'm sure the rest of you have as well. And I will be sharing this video to different platforms. So just give me just a minute as we're kind of preparing here. Unfortunately, my new Facebook doesn't like me to go live, so I have to manually stick it in there to make sure that everybody gets on, as well as on our Life Imagine group. And so welcome. Really excited about today. I haven't even pulled any cards yet because I want to do it in front of y'all to see that we're just going to literally do this spontaneously. So we're really excited. So don't forget to like, share, and comment. I know on my new Facebook, it is only for friends. But on my old Facebook, if you're on there, you can share it publicly, as well as YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you can also get a copy of this for later. I'm really excited. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. As you can tell, my wife has purple hair, if you can kind of see it. It's dark in here. It looks really nice. She doesn't like it. I love it. But yeah, I figure we get that out of the way.
Jesus.
Oh, but I'm excited. I really am. I think 2025 is going to be a very unique year. I think there's a lot. I tend to shake everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that's going to be happening and shifting in 2025 that it's going to surprise many people. And I believe on the 8th, let me just make sure I have this right. On the 8th of January, Deborah Ann Westbrook and myself are going to be doing a live, and it's going to be all over the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, her Facebook, my Facebook, and then we'll upload it to the Patreon as well. And we're going to be talking about 2025 undefined. And it's really about redefining what has been defined to come out of conclusions to utilize our illusions. And we're going to be talking about topics such as why are many people returning to religion or Christianity, however you want to put it, why mankind needs mythology to exist in a 3D, and is the void where we are to live or simply use to reset and to change our structures or to find another version of us. And this is something I think is really important because we are starting to really see that we are coming out of a flight or fight mentality when it comes to you are the one you are looking for. So we're going to be talking on that. You don't want to miss it. So mark your calendars or put a reminder in your phone. January 8th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll be live all over the internet, okay? And so I like it because we put on here, we're about to redefine what has been defined to let go of conclusions in order to utilize illusions. And one of my little cat in the hat rhymes, but really good stuff. And if you haven't gotten a chance to see or listen to Deborah Ann Westbrook, she's got some amazing videos out there as well. Something I believe is going to be beneficial to you. All right. So without further ado, I'm not going to spend a lot of time just sitting here blabbing, even though I want to say hi to everybody. Derek, it's good to see you. Shelly, Ron, I know others will be joining us. There are those that don't show up on here that might be joining us on Life Imagined or on YouTube. Unfortunately, not all the platforms allows you to your comment to show up.
Who's on there, yeah.
But we acknowledge you. We receive you. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey in our lives. Boy, has it been a crazy season or what, as we've been closing out 2024. There's been a lot of shifting, a lot of ripping away. It reminds me of those old Etch-a-Sketches. Remember the Etch-a-Sketch? You'd sit there and draw things, you just shake it and it's all gone. And it seems like a lot of us have gotten shaken up to where our paradigm has just gone away, or our who am I now? You know, what personality I'm playing, almost like
I was just gonna say, another paradigm that we've created has now shifted into something else. So
yes, definitely. So we are going to be moving into some things. And before I get into the cards, I'm already starting to feel this realm breaking open over me. I just want to say, as I'm feeling the people polling on. Okay, I know he's got something. We're going to pull on it. 2025 is going to be the end of the mind hive when it comes to the way in which we keep jumping back and forth based on the cultural polling and traditions that make us feel safe, at least in our identity. We are really moving into a place of realizing that the killing of our ego, or needing to get rid of our ego, to then enter into higher self and source and all of these different things, is all still part of the same system. We're going to be coming out of that system. We're going to be coming into a whole new place. Good to see you, Michaela. And so it's going to be just a real beautiful grounding year of practical application. I did a post earlier that really was a prediction of what I'm sensing, and it was about the blue pill and the red pill.
Yeah.
While the red pill has been looked at as, oh, I'm awake, you know, I'm on the cutting edge, I'm ascending, I'm moving in a high frequency, I'm channeling aliens. These other people, man, they've taken the blue pill. They're still in religion. They're still asleep. Good to see you, Trish and Maria. And so it's like we thinking that the red pill was, we're awake now because we're spiritual, we're this, we're that, you know, we're kind of superior to these people asleep. I know that many don't purposefully think that, but it can easily come across that way. But now the red pill is actually looking at our spirituality as, look, can we apply this to our life? How can we actually help mankind? How can we actually, you know, preserve the earth? How can we actually do practical things in life with a lot of our ascension tools? And so a lot of that is going to fall by the wayside as almost a desperation to avoid yourself in the name of seeking yourself, with our smoke screens of rebranding religious structures, thinking we've escaped them. Okay. And again, we're also going to come out of the need to escape. It's going to be a beautiful thing where we are no longer threatened by certain aspects that we were threatened by up until now in our deconstruction process.
Right.
So a lot of new reconstructing coming in 2025 that is a loose reconstruction that allows you to be fluid in the midst of the illusions of the characters that we are playing. Okay. How many know that when you were born into this experience, you didn't have a sense of self? As a baby, you don't have a thought of, oh, my diaper is dirty, or, you know, my diaper needs to be changed. I shared a video earlier, a couple different people yesterday on some of this stuff, you know. And so what we have to understand is that we only have a self image because we were conditioned to have a self image. So when we hear the term, you're the one you're looking for, which you are you looking for? For every you that you experience is a programmed, conditioned you. The good thing is you get to choose how you want to condition yourself and program yourself for the character you're going to play in 2025 without feeling like you're going to lose yourself, because there's no self to lose. There's only the program of self, and now a reprogramming of a new version of that so that we can stay relevant in the human experience. And so this is what is coming up in 2025. Practical application,
right?
Good, honest labor, coming out of the get rich quick schemes, coming out of self-avoidance in areas where we would avoid emotion, where we would avoid things, including avoiding labels, where we're going to play with labels without being brainwashed by the labels. Okay, this is the beautiful thing about it.
Or limited by a label.
Or limited by a label, but we're going to be able to play with things without becoming superstitious.
Right.
You know, for those of you that are on my new Facebook, you might have noticed that I've changed up some things. Stuff like sharing stuff on ADHD, stuff on bipolar, stuff on how people's brains are wired differently. It's not a deficiency. It's not a defect. It is simply a different way in which we do not fit in the box of regular society or what has been deemed normal. Okay. I'm sharing these things and people say, well, I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in labels. Well, you can put asshole, you can put fuck up, you can put lazy. Okay. Guess what? The end of the matter is, if your brain works opposite than everybody else and you don't understand it and you don't fit in, you're going to think you're less than you really are. So I would rather use a label that's technical than a label that is a personal judgment. Okay. And so we're putting these things out because that's what we're coming into in 2025. We're taking what we've known of our spirituality and we are now grounding it into practical action and into really enjoying and embracing the human experience without needing to fix it. Isn't that wonderful? And isn't that amazing? So these are some of the things that I have been sensing. And what about you, honey? Do you feel like there is something coming that through your experience? Because remember, I can only share my own path that is going to connect to many of you where we intersect on that path. But for you, what have you felt like you're coming into for 2025, honey? In your own personal journey.
My own personal journey. I think I had a dream last night.
Yeah.
And in my dream, I was talking to an old friend of mine who's no longer in a relationship with me. But in my dream, I didn't hold anything against her. She didn't hold anything against me. And I'm feeding her popcorn, and I'm feeding popcorn to my kids, everybody. And I'm at this table. And I remember telling her, it's so important that we figure out for ourselves what it is that we enjoy. And I think that's what it is for me. And I know other people I've talked to is very similar to, we've gone through all these different, all the years have brought through self-love and healing and shadow work and all of these things. But ultimately right now in this season, I feel like 2025 is bringing me, and I feel like many others, in that place of, being able to live this life with the fullness of joy, like actually doing things that make us happy, like having fun. What does that look like for you? What are you doing that is fun? You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's been an emphasis for me personally, is finding out what it is that I find to be fun and go do it.
Yes.
And live that life, because that's what we're here for. We're here for the experience. Yes, there's all these dimensions and all of this stuff like you're saying, but if we cannot apply all of our spiritual tools and principles to actually enjoy life, what's the point?
Yes.
I know somebody was I was talking to somebody and I was like, well, man, sometimes I have anxiety or sometimes I feel stressed. I need to get into this and do this. And then all of a sudden I just had this realization. I don't want to do any of that shit. No. I don't want to have to do all of that stuff. And I just was like, I'm not going to. I'm going to do what I find right now to bring me joy, bring me peace, bring me happiness.
Without escaping yourself.
Without escaping myself. And so yes, all of those stuff is important and they're tools, but it's not the fullness of the expression.
That's right.
And so I feel like a lot of people are taking what they have received and, got from the last couple of years, have been so useful, are now being able to use that and now apply it. And that's what the end of 2024 and 2025 is really going to be emphasizing, is the ability to apply all of those things that you've learned to really, again, not escape yourself, not avoid yourself, but how do we love ourselves?
Yes.
It's by having fun and enjoying this experience. So
being present.
And that's kind of what's been emphasizing for me.
That's beautiful, honey. And that really brings to my mind how a lot of times, see, I'm a truth seeker. Now that can be a gift and it can be a curse. Okay. And there's pros and cons. And so many a times all of our need to, again, constantly do shadow work, constantly to make sure we're aligned, constantly make sure we're relevant, constantly make sure we're ascending, constantly make sure our DNA and our nervous system is clear, is sometimes you actually avoiding yourself. Because we have been juggling religious gymnastics and activity for so long, it's easy to just rebrand one thing and into another. And I don't want to get too much into that because that's going to be on the 8th of January with Deborah. But I just feel like you're Sean is hitting on something here, about that. I know for me, I had dove so deep into the void that I
Mhm.
thought insanity had hit me, and I was losing my
Mhm.
ability to be present because I was too busy trying to make sure I could be present. So we could
Mhm.
be so busy trying to be present that we're not being present, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And so this is the time where we're coming into really a higher realm of spirituality, and it's called practicality.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
having fun and watching funny videos and cuddling with animals and hanging out in nature and just doing fun things. And I really believe
Mhm.
2025 is about returning to the human experience
Mhm.
from a place of a new paradigm
Right.
that isn't bound by me doing something to be something, or getting my identity locked into anything, but just simply being present, having gratitude,
Mhm.
enjoying family, just being thankful for life.
Mhm.
And we're all going to begin to come into a lot of this. So
Right.
if you've struggled, and maybe that's what you've been trying to do, but your mind has just been reeling, stuck,
Mhm.
whether it's because of the election or because of, new laws or crime or whatever, or just financial struggles,
Mhm.
just be encouraged. You're going to come in, and we're coming off of this extreme false expectation of ourselves to use the law of attraction, and I'm going to be rich in 24 hours, and somehow gold bars are going to fall out my ass, and all of this stuff. Okay. We're going to get out of the extreme superstitious bullshit that we keep subjecting ourselves to because we're afraid of loss or we're not good enough in our own minds. And we're gonna come into a place where we're just very happy, with being present, with being alive, with
Mhm.
being with a loved one, with just having an interaction, and
I
i
love
think i
I
think
love what Mark said.
yeah, what if true spirituality is just about living life?
Mhm.
That's it right
That's
there.
it.
That's it. We've complicated things, and that's
Well, we
what.
had to.
Yes,
We had
that's
to
true.
complicate it
That's
because
true.
we were uncomplicating a bunch of other stuff to
Yes.
complicate some more to
Yes.
realize you're exhausted and tired of trying to fix yourself.
Yes.
And so, yes, we had to kind of go through all of that to realize that true spirituality is just having
Yes.
this life experience.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we're here for. And
Yes.
also for
Yeah.
people who are truth seekers and going deeper,
Oh yeah.
all of that is all part of it, But I really feel like this is the time of now applying everything that we've
Yeah.
gained from our life experience.
See, you're going to
So,
find very good, honey. You're going to find in 2025 that many of the things that served you in 2024 were distractions, not necessarily negative. You needed it to kind of come to the end of trying to seek again something
mhm,
outside of yourself, or even the need to find a self that satisfies you. Okay. We're literally going to stop trying to do these things, and we're going to come into a place of simply being, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going
mhm,
to be very earthly, and that is going to be a very positive thing. Doesn't mean you're not going to have cool out there experiences. I know for me, being a truth seeker is really because I'm authentic, and we're all authentic, and we want authenticity. But many a times our truth seeking is avoiding ourselves. It's us avoiding the fear of being deceived or being duped, and it's coming out of a lot of flight or fight mode.
right.
And so I am learning to let go of the need to seek another truth,
Mhm,
but be present
mhm,
in what I'm currently engaged in as the truth that I need right now. And this is going to just
mhm.
break off of us all the
Right,
false responsibilities that we
right.
place on ourselves, because you're hearing stuff out there. We're seeing the few, for many of you that have left Christianity, you remember the Hollywood, the 1% of Christian leaders that got all the money while the rest of the Christian leaders struggled financially. The Benny Hinns and the Copelands and all of them that were on the forefront, and everybody would hang on every word and do everything they said. And most of the time it wouldn't work. But the preacher would get rich, right? And so then everybody would believe, well, it must be working because look, the preacher is rich. We have the same thing in the metaphysical. Okay. In the metaphysical, you have the same thing going on.
Mhm,
You have the few big wigs up there, nothing against them. I'm sure they're doing the best they can, but they're selling you their course on the law of attraction, and they're the only ones attracting everybody's money while you're trying to operate in it, and it's a hit and miss. So we're going to move out of the phase of trying to make stuff happen.
Right.
And we're going to start enjoying what is happening, okay? And allowing things to then flourish through good, honest labor, transparency, and interaction, okay? And that's where we're coming back into it. So this is beautiful.
Right.
And from that, I want to pull some cards today. I haven't pulled any yet, so I'm actually going to pull one from each deck that I have here, okay? And honey, if I could have you grab those and just set them aside. We're going to set the decks out. And this is actually the energy deck. And I'm going to pull some cards here. So I just want, again, is there anything spiritual about this? No, there's not. Just so you know, this is the Energy of 7 deck. There's nothing spiritual about cards. What they are is they're placebos. They're a point of contact for you to mirror the mind and what is happening at a subconscious level of what has already been decided for you. How many know that your subconscious makes every decision for you in advance before you become conscious of it? Okay. And so for entertainment purposes, but also it's going to be very accurate. And this was my big confusion, but it's accurate. Every time I've done cards, they're accurate. Well, they're accurate in a couple ways. They're accurate because I'm pulling from the subconscious and the collective subconscious. This is the Star Dragon cards. And, but I'm also, it's the power of suggestion that whatever you tap into is going to also motivate you to be a self-fulfiller of your own prophecy. So if you can receive that without it being magical, then what happens is you can begin to receive your mind as magical, and then you don't have to look for anything outside of you to feel magic. All right. And so again, we're going to use several decks here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks. Can you grab me one out of the bedroom? Pick one that you feel led. I need 7 decks. I just feel the number 7 is a good place today. And I'm gonna pull 7 cards from each deck here. And again, I do readings. I actually get paid to do readings, and they're accurate readings. But I'm not. I could say I'm channeling the Pleiadian Council, and I could very well be doing so. I'm not going to doubt the possibility of that because I've experienced that. And I could say I'm channeling your higher self, or I'm channeling whatever. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull upon the inside of me and the inside of the collective, and see what 2025 has. 2025 is going to remove all the jive. I did a little post about that. It was funny. Did a Google search on everything that rhymed with 5 just to be funny. Removing that, the hive mind. 2025 is the place in which what? What's another good one that rhymes? 2025.
You were so funny.
Whoop.
Whoa.
That one. I don't think we're grabbing all those. All right. Just doing a little bit of shuffling as I enter the field here. And so it is really good to see you guys. I know you're excited. I'm excited. I even got my Starseed Oracle deck out too. I truly believe that we're going to get some relief in 2025, guys. We're going to get some relief. Okay. We're going to have a place to rest for a bit. It's been so accelerated in 2024. It's like, can I just get a moment to ingest the last thing I realized before going on to the next, and constant paradigm shifting? The reason our paradigms were shifting so much in 2024 was to turn you into a fluid, flowing person that you can let go of conclusions, so that you can begin to utilize illusions without threats, right? And so illusions is basically what I mean by everything we cling to that we don't know is true or false, but we're just experiencing something at one level or another. Oh, so you grab the
Citadel.
The Citadel cards. That's wonderful. Never used this deck. Did you bring the book on that one too? Okay, good.
You can just flow off.
I will just flow. All right, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I could do a la peanut butter sandwiches, abracadabra, and I just invite all of the guides in that want to come in. We're going to pull now from each one here. Okay. And we're going to see what happens. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move these to the side as I go through each one. And I'll show you which ones I'm pulling here. Okay. Oh, yeah. The thinking man. There we go. All right. Yeah, we are definitely coming into some stuff. Okay. Lost. Ooh, the land between. Beautiful. Okay. And there will be a story on this, just so you know. I'm sure it'll come together as a story. All right. This is the mother. What is this? The masculine or feminine? Which one
Mother
is it?
Gaia.
Mother Gaia. Yeah, that was a good one too. All right. And then we have these two. We're also going to add up the numbers and see what our numerology number is. Okay. And the last one is the captain. Taking command, teamwork. Makes complete sense. All right. So this is going to be really awesome. So I'm going to go through each one here and just show you each one. Okay. And then I'm going to start to break it down of what I'm getting, what Sean is getting. You want to jump in on this?
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Don't want to volunteer her if she doesn't want to be on here. All right. So the first card is the Cathedral Rock. Okay. This is the Sedona card, Sedona code. Penny Pennell's deck. If you have her on your Facebook and you want a deck, reach out to her. Okay, this is Cathedral Rock. I magnify and release the majesty of authenticity. We're going to get into what that means for 2025.
Yes.
Also, on the energy card, it's the thinking man. Okay, the thinking man. And this is dealing with intellect, also with being the truth seeker and the need to understand everything. We're going to get into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay. And then we have, I think this is the one on the 7, energy of the 7. Is that this one? Energy of the 7 card. This one is called the land in between, or the land between. Okay. So for a lot of you that have been operating in between seasons, waiting to settle, all right, you're going to understand the purpose of the land between, and you're going to be able to cross over in 2025. Don't want to reveal too much yet. All right. Because I will go through all of this. The fourth card is called the Star Bathing card. Okay. This is out of the Starseed deck, and it is light body crystal grid transmission and activation. So you can see where this is going. All right. The Gaia deck, the next card is Eternal Love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. Happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. So we're coming into some really blissful, not just bliss. We've had a lot of bliss in 2024, but also a lot of the opposite, back and forth, so that we don't settle in another indoctrination and dogma. Okay. It's to make us fluid. This is why we've been free falling, so we can come into a place where we can just move with things without feeling threatened. And we're going to come in. We're coming into that in this season. Now, the next card, which is the Star Dragon, is this is the transformation, defining yourself. So this is great. We're moving into a new defining of ourself. Okay. It's got a man in front of a dragon there, kind of holding back the dragon that's ready to go. Almost like, you know what? We've got this under control. We're coming into this place of, you know what? I'm controlling my impulses, or my need to escape myself, or my need to over spiritualize and use that as my dopamine drug. These are kinds of some of the things we're coming out of. And the last one, I love it. This is the Citadel card. This is shaking hands. It is called the Captain, taking command and teamwork. Now, this is not just working with people. I'm telling you, the end result of 2025 is not only a whole new way of experiencing community and connection with everybody else, but it's teamwork with yourself. You're going to come into a place where you become the captain of your own emotions, your own mind, and your own ship without needing a conclusion on self.
I love that.
Okay. So this is going to be really good. So to look at the gist of what is happening here right now, we are moving into a place of authenticity, and that authenticity is not based on my spirituality. It isn't based on my frequency. It isn't based on what group I'm in, how much I know, how much I don't know. It's based on my willingness to release the need for reality and yet be able to play in the simulation from a place of authenticity. Because here's the big question: how can I be authentic if I'm playing a character that I'm really not? Who am I really?
Right.
Well, you can't really play a character that you are, because there is no character to play at this level of the game. All right. Self is an invention of this dimension, not your essence. Okay. And so to be able to be authentic, whoops, sorry about that. I moved my hands too much. In order to be authentic without feeling like you're faking it by having to play a character because you can't find yourself,
Right.
you're coming into a place where you no longer need to find yourself, but you're able to embrace everything you're experiencing as part of the game, which is authentic. It's an authentic game. And you're now coming into that place where you're able to be authentic without feeling threatened. You're no longer needing to conform to what everybody else
Right.
is doing, and so this is something that we're coming into. Do you have something you would like
And
to add?
just so you
Yes.
know, your authenticity isn't going to look like other people's.
That's right.
And vice versa. Other people's authenticity is not going to look like yours. And so I
Yes.
think the big process of learning for yourself to be authentic is to not judge other people's authenticity and their journey and their process.
Yes.
So that's kind of the big thing I think about authenticity is it is your journey.
Yes.
And your level of discovery, and it's not going to look like anybody else's.
That's right. That's right. And so that's what, just like what Derek Carter just said here, this is what real is. Okay. Real is letting go of the need to find out what is real and what is fake anymore.
Right.
And you being okay in the sweet spot of the moment you're in,
Mm.
and also being able to play whatever character is needed as you're fluid and flow with one another.
So
Okay.
authenticity just is.
It just is. Anybody that needs to define their defining moment as the fullness of themselves and try to keep themselves in that box is not authentic. Okay. Authenticity is very fluid, based in reciprocation with everything you're experiencing. Okay. So you're able to do that without the sense of losing yourself that you've been seeking to secure out of fear in the first place. Okay. So it's beautiful. The second one is the thinking man. As we begin to come into this place of allowing ourselves to have structures without forcing our identity in them, by utilizing whatever we need in our authenticity in the moment, it's going to bring us into balance in our thought process. It's going to bring us into a place in which we are not driven by our thoughts, but our thoughts now become an attribute to us rather than a nightmare for us. How many of us have tried to change our thoughts? Oh, I just need to get out of my thinking because so-and-so said thoughts were bad, or this, that, or the other. No, we're going to move out of that whole perception of thoughts being bad, but we're also not going to use thoughts as our guarantee that we're getting the truth. This is the whole truth seeker. Okay. Those of you that are truth seekers that get your adrenaline, or shall I say your dopamine, through seeking truths. Okay. We are chemical beings at one level, guys. Even though it might be vibration, it's manifesting as a chemical reaction. And that chemical reaction can dominate and try to master you. Okay. So we are coming into a place where we're becoming aware of chemical reactions and self-manipulation at deeper levels, where we hide from ourselves by using thinking to try to become more spiritual or to obtain. Okay. We're not here to obtain. We're here to observe. We're here to experience. You're not here to define your life. You're here to experience your life. So your authenticity is moving you out of the thought process of trying to obtain who you are, and simply allowing yourself to realize who you are, which is going to allow your thought process to enter a new stage of really being able to communicate effectively from the heart. So it's a real strong brain-heart connection in 2025. So this is really going to be an amazing year. I'm excited. I've got goosebumps on my goosebumps thinking about 2025, because I'll be perfectly honest, 2024 was not my favorite year. Even though there was a lot of wonderful things that happened, there was a lot of tearing down in my
Right.
life, a lot of ripping away, a lot of the sense of loss, and constantly wondering if I was going to get that carrot. Well, I finally just let go of the carrot concept. I'm done with carrots, you know. We'll go with celery next time. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this leads us. So as you come in, vibrate in your authenticity, your thought life is going to be brought into a place of being able to be present and experience the present without over analyzing your life. That's going to allow the land that you have been in between, or the land between, that place that has been suspended, that gulf, that empty spot in you is going to get filled. Okay. It's going to bring you into the next card here in a minute. And so the land between can be where you are in between seasons, where you are where it seems like your life has been on hold. Okay. So you're coming into understanding why you've been in the between spot. Okay. And there is and because your thought life has preceded you, this is what allows you to know the why without self-evaluation, without condemnation, without that flight or fight sense that makes you want to try to go and find out a way to get out of it or find out a way to cross over. No, you're going to learn to be between. Okay, let me give you an example of the land between. There's a land called your mind that you're experiencing right now. The land between is the land between thought. The land between thought is where authenticity vibrates the highest. It's where you touch that sweet spot of being complete within yourself, okay? And when that happens, okay, I'm getting some fresh flow here, you'll realize that the land between is that which is between thought, and that which is between thought is a now place. It's the only place of the eternal now in which you are present. So if you can live between thoughts, you are present to experience the purpose of your experience. You can have an experience and miss the whole purpose because our mind is thinking we've got to get here. Happiness is over here. No, the land between has felt like it has been our biggest curse. It's been, oh man, when am I going to get the blessing? When am I going to arrive? When am I going to go here? I've been waiting. Happiness is over here. No, it's in the between. Okay? Right between your ears.
Derek said it. He said acceptance.
Acceptance. Where did he put that?
Right up there.
Let me just put that up there to make sure
that's exactly what I was getting. I don't know how many times in 2024 either I said it or I heard someone else say, I thought I've dealt with this. I thought I got the answer. And it was like everything we experienced in 2024 of kind of feeling like the in-between of seeing something else or knowing an experience, but feeling some of the similarities of emotions or conclusions. It was kind of like finally when you just accept it as is, it shifts and you go from in between to the next place of your own acceptance.
Oh, that's so
but
good.
Yeah, so that was it. Acceptance of the in between.
Yes.
That it's okay to actually be in between.
That's right. And the land between reveals where you haven't accepted yourself so that you can.
Yes.
So self-acceptance many a times is revealed when you could not measure up. And all those situations are purposefully there, not as an enemy, but as an ally to finally awaken you to get off of that hamster wheel and quit trying to be authentic. I'm going to be authentic this year. You can't try to be authentic. You can't try to find your truth. You know, the whole you are the one you are looking for worked in 2024. But in 2025, you're not looking for you anymore. You're experiencing you as life. You're just simply living in that place. So the land between isn't just you waiting to get somewhere. It's you finding the sweet spot that your completeness and your acceptance is enough, and you are enough where you're at. Can I tell you that when you're enough where you're at is actually when you start to get somewhere in some of these other areas? It's when we stop trying to get there, we're getting there. You know, we're not really ascending right now, we're descending. Okay, we're coming into the place of grounding and being able to apply our truths, right? That's right. And so that's really good. Now, what's amazing here is the land between always leads us when we can live in the now from a place of our thoughts brought into a place of rest, our authenticity, who we are, we're enough, and we've hit that sweet spot. It's going to bring us into this card, which is the star bathing card. Now, there's an actual practice called star bathing, but that's not where we're going to go on this. Even though we could, I want to bring some practical here. It says light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. This is where we really start to see the union within our body. This is where where gratitude begins to manifest in our physiological life. This is where we enter that rest. It's the place where we are bathing in the now expression of who we are, and it is activating the parts of us that have been trying to get activated, but we were too busy trying to do it in our striving, trying to do it out of flight or fight mode, okay? And so coming into this is really, really powerful. Now, we can look at this from a higher technological, alien technology places if we want, but the point is the light body is really dealing with the fact that you're aware of the heart of who you are. It's more than just some higher thing. It's the fact that, wow, you know what? I am clear in who I am right now. I am so clear that I am happy to dance in the present truth rather than looking for the next high. So I've really balanced myself in the chemical realm here. Okay, I'm not moving from the body ruling the brain by getting its dopamine and burning out those sensors to try to get more by risky, risky situations or jumping from one thing to another and maybe looking completely inconsistent in my life. But it's really because I need to get that dopamine. I need to feel something. Can I just say something here for those that might not understand what I'm talking about when it comes to chemical reactions? Let me give you an example. When you have sex, there is a chemical reaction that releases, and it's called dopamine, oxytocin, and prolactin, I believe. Okay, those are the three that release. So you feel restful, you feel bonded together, and you feel the pleasure, that release, that high. Okay, many a times we don't know, but we've dressed those chemicals up with excuses and reasons why we get them. Now, we all need them, but we need to be honest and authentic. We need to be authentic as to why we're getting our chemicals. 2024 has been to fool yourself with getting your fix. It's been letting your body be a crackhead to manipulate your brain with superstitions and false information so that you look moral in your attempt to get those chemicals, okay? Let's be honest. Well, I just love you and I just wanted to bless you with this $50 certificate. Now, in your conscious awareness, you're going, yeah, I did want to bless that person with $50, but it sure felt good to get that dopamine release and to have that oxytocin release and that bonding together as well. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if I'm honest, I might be saying, well, there's a part of me that's really doesn't want to feel this other emotion, which is a chemical reaction of self-rejection. And so rather than facing that, I'm going to go over here and spiritualize this and do this and appear to be the good Samaritan so that I can avoid one part of me to reward another part of me to bypass myself. Does that make sense? And so,
and we've all played that game.
Yes. So the star bathing is where you have come to the place where your body is no longer running your brain. Your brain has now understood how chemicals work. And now you're getting your chemicals, but you're being brutally honest, saying, you know what? I'm on here doing a reading and maybe speaking in a light language because it's fun and I needed my dopamine. Hey, yeah, let's do it. And now we're just being honest. And so as you enter into that honesty, see, there is a difference between, let me just put it this way. Oh, sorry. Thank you, honey. Vulnerability gives birth to self-honesty, which causes authenticity to manifest. Authenticity is for everyone else. Self-honesty is for you. Okay. So where you know you, as much as you know you, you're trying to be as authentic as you can. But then other people that might see more than you might see some areas where, I think he's wounded here, or he's struggling here, or he's projecting this there. And they might come and say, well, man, I just kind of see this, that, and the other. You might, well, no, I'm being authentic. Okay. We're going to be able to speak into each other in this next year, this next year, without us trying to shrink back and put up a false authenticity that might be as authentic as we know consciously,
right,
but is not subconsciously. Okay. And we've been using those chemicals to justify not looking at things. So as you come into the star bathing, guess what's going to happen? You're coming into a place of you being able to see from a higher perspective some of the things that has kept you spinning your wheels, that even your spouse and other people have been telling you. I'm speaking from my own experience here. Okay. Everything I'm sharing with you is everything I've been walking through here. Okay. And you're going to finally go, oh, I thought I was having an ego death experience, leaving my body and astral projecting for this last 6 months, where I thought I was going to die. And I thought it was just me, the empath, on the hero's path, crushing the egregores and collapsing Akashic records and being the Christ on the hero's path to just transmute everybody's pain. Oh no, Brian, you've been dealing with anxiety this whole time, but you had to spiritualize it because you couldn't receive yourself, because you believed if you did, there was something wrong with you. And so thankfully, I have a wife that says, no, honey, that's anxiety. I go, what? I've never had anxiety. No, you've had it for 17 years. You just called it spirituality. You called it the devil attacking you. You called it, embodying the collective. You called it all of these things.
Righteous anger.
Righteous anger to what? Avoid yourself and then reward yourself by being the hero of the day or the poor victim that now gets its dopamine fix. Okay. So I'm speaking from experience here. We're coming out of that this year, this new year. We're coming out of that. No more self-manipulation. No more self-gaslighting, gaslighting ourselves. Okay. We're coming into the star bathing. Crystal grid. That is crystal clear clarity. That's you being able to see your cycles and not condemn yourself, laugh about it, and go, oh, I caught myself being manic again. I thought it was a download of the revelation. Well, you might be using your manic to get a download, but also realize you're being manic and go, whoa, wait a second here. I'm not being solemn and just humble. I'm actually depressed. Maybe I need to quit eating all those sweets. Maybe I need to, start taking care of myself. So true accountability and true responsibility is 2025, where we're going to take account and we're not going to spiritualize it or use spiritual excuses, right? Now, this star bathing is going to bring us into eternal love, okay? Not that we aren't already eternal love, but eternal love here is happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. You know what happens when you're operating in eternal love? It doesn't mean you got your head in the clouds and you're going, well, I am the one, I am that I am has sent me. No, eternal love is actually the fact that you don't need all of that to be happy anymore. You don't need any more crutches. You don't need any more, not that we won't need some placebos in our life, but we just come to the place where, you know what, I'm okay right where I'm at. I don't need to get anywhere else. Again, back to the land between, okay? I don't need to go from point A to point B until I need to. I will get there when I need to get there. I am simply in a place of harmonizing. I'm in a place of the brain-heart connection. And can I go beyond this heart? And can I go into the gut heart? There's a gut heart too. Okay, your gut heart, your solar plex, the place where we, have a lot of fear, where we try to exercise our discernment from a place of fear and extremes, justifying it. All of that is going to come into harmony. You're going to come into fulfillment. You're going to come into a place where you don't feel threatened. You're not questioning your motives. You're not questioning whether or not you're doing things right, or if you're going to be loved or received or be alone, or you're going to stop that. You're going to come into a place of satisfaction. So this is 2025. I don't have a rhyme for satisfaction, but 2025 is definitely the place where we come into happiness, harmony, and fulfillment, at least the beginning stages of us really grounding. Okay.
Satisfaction in action.
Satisfaction in action. Hey, there we go. All right. All right. This is bringing us then into transformation, defining ourselves. See, you can't define yourself if you're in a flight or fight mode. Guess what has happened when everybody deconstructed religion? They begin to run to the next thing to rebrand because they felt like there was something wrong. They lost themselves. They got duped by religion. Now I got to find who I am. And guess what we did? We defined who we were that wasn't who we are. And we found ourselves jumping through hoops into more religiosity, going, what? I'm back in religion again? I just renamed it something else. I went from demons and angels to lower frequencies and higher frequencies, right? I went from a sky daddy to source. I went from Holy Spirit to Mother Earth, you know? All I did was switch placebos, okay? But now we're going to come into the place where we're like, you know what? It's all a placebo and I'm okay. I don't need to define myself by these things. Let me just use these things to just enjoy and have experiences and allow who I am to just begin to come. That's right. The woo is off, which is so nice. Getting rid of the woo-woo, okay? Again, play with the woo-woo. Just don't get entangled in it as reality, all right? Come into a place where where your defining moment is to let go of all of your definitions and redefine what's been defined by letting it be okay without a rigid boxed definition. What are you laughing about then?
Play with the woo-woo.
Play with the woo-woo.
Just don't let it define you.
Don't let it define you. So a lot of the things that we would get entangled in and have to have all these safeguards to make sure we don't let this, attach and we get stuck in it because there's coming another paradigm shift. Because I'm telling you, free falling the whole way in the void, you will not sustain life at this level of the game, living in the void. We've been in the void because we've been preparing for some loose structures that we can build and not get attached to because we know it's woo-woo, we know it's mythology, and we know that it's okay because my life is an illusion at many levels of this game. And it's okay now to celebrate that without feeling like there's something mentally wrong with you, okay? And so we are coming in through our authenticity, vibrating through the way we think, being okay in the land between, and allowing everything in our life to balance into a place of embrace, happiness, and harmony. We are going to begin to come into a transformational stage that's going to be able to define ourselves without rigid flight or fight rules, if I could put it that way, where we won't be boxed in. We will simply be playing in life, and it's wonderful. And this is what is bringing us to being the captain of our own ship, to be able to rule the mind without needing to rule the mind. Can I say that? With bringing every thought subject without needing to bring every thought subject. This is the captain taking command, teamwork. This is what is going to allow us to have diversity. This is what is going to allow us to look at those that are returning to Christianity and saying, yeah, that sure was tough, man. I remember when I didn't know what to do. And I remember when I was thinking maybe I should go back. I've got a different pacifier. I've got a different structure, but it's really just the same structure. Some are healthier. I'm going to say that mainstream Christianity is not a healthy structure. But either way, you're going to eventually graduate from one structure to another structure to another structure. And part of you is going, when can I be done with structures? I'm sorry, you cannot be done with structures at this level of the game. But if you can realize that the structures you're getting into as a truth seeker is not about finding an ultimate truth, but simply about having an experience right now that is beautiful, okay? We're coming out of this concept of using positive emotions to negate negative emotions, because most of our positive emotions are not positive emotions. You want to know where your hope comes from? Your hope comes as a mask to deny your hopelessness. That's where your hope is. Well, I got hope. No, you've got flight or fight mode in which you refuse to face yourself. Therefore, you've tricked yourself with a chemical reaction, labeling it as hope, to deny yourself freedom yet again. Okay. So we are coming out of the sense of using toxic positivity to mask or avoid a negativity that isn't even negative that we've misunderstood.
Right.
And really coming into utilizing everything as love, everything as an embrace, but also being accountable, being practical, using our brains and logic in a positive way without having to separate the sacred from the secular or the spiritual from the natural, where we've been so extreme to again escape ourselves. So these are the things that are coming. Anything you have to say about that, honey?
No, I think going back to the last card,
yes, please.
I love that it says the captain, but the captain of your own ship.
Yes.
Really kind of like you talked about earlier, like we went from the sky daddy to the universe and waiting for the universe to bring this to you or the universe to show this to you. And really, it's you are the captain of your own ship.
That's right.
And therefore, you also know that it's about teamwork.
It is.
And so you're not doing it alone. And I think a lot of 2024, a lot of people, I think, as their paradigms have shifted even more and situations and things have changed, they've felt really alone. And so when you realize you are the captain of your own ship and you can go in the direction you want and you desire, you also know that you're not alone in that journey, and you will start to connect with other people, whether it's Facebook, in places that you're living, moving to, wherever, that you are now making new connections because of the place you are with that, like all the cards, self-acceptance.
Yes.
And so having these new experiences. So 2025, it's definitely bringing the new experiences.
New experiences where you belong in everyone's group. Can I just say that? It ain't going to be, I don't belong here, or where do I belong? Because everything keeps changing. It's about the fact that you're so fluid with no longer needing to find yourself, knowing the self is a fabrication of the conditioning of this dimension that is on purpose for you to exist in consciousness at this level of the game, and to have fun with the mythology and have fun with the illusions and have fun with who you're not and have fun with who you think you are. But don't try from a place that I've got to know who I am. No. That's been the emphasis, because who you are today is going to change tomorrow. But who you are at the heart level, at the essence level, is simply one that is in a playground of experiencing this life. And you don't need to really define it beyond that. If you can simply come into the place of realizing where you didn't belong in 2024, you're going to have the freedom to belong here one day, belong there the next day, without feeling like you're losing yourself. Okay. Or that you're double-minded or going back and forth. Okay. This is why nothing is a threat. 2025 is going to remove the threat of religion, the threat of falling back in religion, the threat of losing friends over religion. You're going to be okay whether people are in your life, not in your life, whether, your friend that deconstructed all of a sudden went back to church and you're going, oh no, they're falling into deception. You're going to no longer fall for that, because you know that everything you're experiencing is a part of your journey of allowing you to come into that authentic, free-thinking space in which you can rest in the land between. You can bathe under a higher perspective of yourself, seeing all those blind spots and calling yourself on your own shit and laughing about it and coming into that place of happy harmony, love, and defining yourself here and doing it again over here without any sense of, oh, I've got to rip this down and start over. Just a fluid flow, being the captain of your own ship. So you belong, and we're going to see some beautiful things happen. So we just love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Go to our website for more information. If you want a reading, if you want some of our, we do shift, helping people with emotional trauma as well, or you can go and check out our Patreon. where we're going to have exclusive videos coming into 2025. We already got a lot of videos already on there. You can subscribe there and find out more about us. And we just love you guys. We appreciate you. If you haven't joined my new Facebook, go onto my old one, the one I'm on here, the one with the wizard holding the staff picture, and scroll down. I'll post it again. If you haven't joined my new Facebook, I'm going to be moving everything over there. I'm going to be eventually doing away with the Facebook I've had open since 2014. It's just time to move into new things. So I have started a new one. And so check it out. And hopefully I'll see you on there. We love you guys.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Have a wonderful
Happy New Year.
rest of your evening. Happy New Year. And don't get too drunk. Love you. Bye-bye.